Yo, everybody, it's Brad from New York. I'm here reporting live today from the Expo Art Fair here in Chicago, Illinois. It's the one time a year where Kavi Gupta gets to feel like David Zwirner. Some of yous may be wondering, hey Brad, didn't you go to school in Chicago? Weren't you born in Aurora, Illinois? And my answer to that is, as a matter of fact, I did. However, personally speaking, I've lived in New York my entire life, ever since I moved there on September 11th, 2010, God forbid, for my first MFA degree. I've went on to earn several MFA degrees, all from the prestigious New York University, where I am proud to say I am currently a tenured student. So here I am, in the City of Lights, Chicago, my old stomping grounds, which, for a New Yorker like me, is a whole new world. To begin today's coverage, I think Expo could learn a little something from Yankee Stadium and begin every vernissage of theirs with what I like to call the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, invisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remember 9/11. Now that that's done with, I'd like to begin another important matter, the thanking of the troops that made this flyover country art fair possible. Thank you, Army. Thank you, Marines. Thank you, JROTC, you Central Intelligence Agency, National Security Agency, Defense Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of State, Drug Enforcement Administration, Department of Treasury's Office of Intelligence and Analysis, Department of Energy's Office of Intelligence, Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Thank you, National Reconnaissance Office, Air Force Intelligence, Surveillance and Reconnaissance Office, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the Department of Motor Vehicles. Thank you to the troops and the transportation guards at the mall. And of course, our boys in blue, the police officers all across America who keep our liberties and freedoms safe every single day. Thank you, and God bless. Now, a lot of yous are probably wondering, what's a blue-collar, triple-upper-educated guy like myself doing in an art fair like this? Well, I got two reasons to be here. The reason I'm here is to promote 9/11 awareness here in Chicago, which, need I remind you, was a city that was not in New York the day of September 11th, God forbid. The second reason I'm here today is to find a new replacement painting for my man cave after an unfortunate bout of anger at my little nephew Joshua forced me to punch a hole through the last one. Now, I like this painting, don't get me wrong, but what if we zoomed out just a little bit and actually the painting was the cheek of a hero firefighter, and the firefighter was carrying a little girl who had a teddy bear, and the eyes of the teddy bear was the... This right here is a cool piece. I like the color blue on it. But what if instead of this message it said, "Thank you, NYPD, for your courageous service the morning of 9/11, 2001. For you are the angels." I like this painting of a fingerprint, but what if we zoomed out a little bit and we get an eagle up at the top that's carrying it with a message on a banner that says, "The fingerprint of a nation leaves an indelible mark on history. For on 9/11, this one could have a message at the top that says, when we support the troops, it's a slam dunk for everybody." All right, now we're finally getting some materials that I think would be appropriate as a replacement for the painting in my man cave that I busted open. This pairing of two young women would be a nice replacement for the painting I had previously of two college-age girls making out in bed together. I like this photograph, I really do. But what if instead of whatever the fuck this island is, it was actually Ellis Island, and it had a message at the top and it said, "We welcome all yous from Europe and beyond, for this is a land of prosperity." Now, how crazy is this? They got people in here who are taking naps during an art fair. Why don't they put their work boots on and help remove some of the rubble from the ruins of 9/11 on that tragic morning, God forbid. All right, now we're finally getting somewhere. Now, this piece could just be slightly altered if instead of saying "keep clear," it was an actual firefighter and he had a little girl in his arms and it said "keep near, for heroes are everywhere." Wow, this is a very powerful painting, and as you can tell, it's going for a real steal too. But instead of white paint, what if it was white ash? And it said, out of the ashes of yesterday, we will rebuild the strength of tomorrow. Hey, what's this new media artist doing here? This is a place for wall works. I like this painting, I do. But what if instead of whoever the fuck these twos are, it was me and my girlfriend Megan, and I was telling her, I'm sorry for blacking out at Hooters again. I'll pick up my debit card in the morning. What a ride. I'd like to see somebody deck out a fire engine like this at the 9/11 museum. And then the water that would be coming out, little children could play inside of, and they could pay tribute to the troops that made 9/11 possible. Hey, it's me. I'm just taking a quick break to eat a little sandwich I packed for myself for the art fair. I'll be right back with more coverage. Wow, what a winner. This one not only honors the troops, but it also honors our boys in blue. I would say, as of right now, this is the highest contender for replacement man cave painting. I like the cut of this guy's jib. It reminds me of Pee Wee Herman. I wonder if this guy's ever touched himself in a movie theater, though. Wow, it's tough to improve on one as good as this, but if I had to offer a suggestion, there'd be a Lady Liberty kneeling down and crying right above it, and a hero troop would place his hand on her shoulder in consolence, and he'd say, "This is why the war in Iraq was justified." This piece right here reminds me of one I already have in my man cave basement. It's a poster of Muhammad Ali and Joe Pesci shaking hands, and it says, "Original gangsters never die, they just go to heaven with the angels." Don't forget to wear a helmet. What type of freak show is this? Hopefully we get some hero volunteers to come in here and clean up this mess, like they had to on that fateful morning of September 11th, 2001. In my personal opinion, I respect the idea of an artwork being about prayer. However, one way to improve this piece would be to make it with one hand and have it chucking up the deuces in peace, and the two fingers would be the twin towers, and the other two fingers would spell out truth and respect. Get a load of this guy. Buddy, I think it might be time for a new bookshelf. I like this piece. I would put, the only way to make it in this business is with a pair of iron bowls. And the business I'm referring to is the game of life. The only way to improve this diptych will be to label the one on the right Osama bin Laden's Forces of Darkness and Terrorism and Jihad, and then the one on the left are hero troops, the boys in blue, the NYPD. Well, folks, I finally found it. A piece that properly pays tribute to our troops and the freedoms they've granted to countries abroad. I'll take both, please. Concludes tonight's coverage, as I've officially found the perfect painting for my man cave basement. Good night, folks!